6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John and led them up on a high mountain apart by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no one on earth could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, who were talking with Jesus. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it's good for us to be here. Let's make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But he did not know what to say, for they were terrified. Then a cloud overshadowed them, and from the cloud there came a voice. "This is my son, the beloved. Listen to him." Suddenly, when they looked around, they saw no one with them anymore, but only Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, he ordered them to tell no one about what they had seen until after the Son of Man had risen from the dead. And this is our good news. I begin today by sharing words of grace and peace to you from our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. I am so happy to be here this morning. I'm happy to be home in my own bed, back in the U.S., back with my church family here at Our Savior's. For those of you who don't know, last Saturday I left on a 5-day trip to go to Haiti. And you might be thinking, Haiti is 90 degrees right now. Why would you be happier to be here than there? It's because I'm a homebody. I love being home with my family. And I love being here with all of you. So I'm happy to be with you today. I was able to travel to Haiti with 17 other adults. And together we explored what ministry and a long-term partnership could look like there in Haiti. And I want to begin by saying at the very beginning of this message to be very clear that while a majority of this team, all 18 of us, a majority of us come from Our Savior's, this partnership that we were looking into is for a non-for-profit outside of our congregation and not for our church to have a partnership there. While that might come further down the road, I was specifically asked to be there to help for this non-for-profit. I was invited on this trip to observe and discern how Our Savior's might then benefit from that non-for-profit being there in Haiti. So a little bit of explanation. A few years ago, a woman of our congregation, her name's Nicole Waite, she had traveled to Haiti with our teenagers as an adult mentor. And so she went there, and in her experience there in Haiti, she saw children going to school, she saw children in the orphanages there, and her heart was really cold, and she felt a calling to come home and pray and discern about a few things, mainly about how will she continue to be present in Haiti. She felt very called to this. And so she, 4 years later, has decided to start a non-for-profit which would provide scholarships for children to go to schools there in Haiti. And here's why that's a need. There are lots of children outside of the school that we would work with who could speak English and other languages. They're extremely bright, but they're not able to go to school because their parents can't afford the tuition. And those were one of the things that pulled at her heart. The other one is that orphanages in Haiti are a little unique. Normally in my mind, when I think of an orphanage, I think of children who have lost their parents. But a lot of these orphanages in Haiti, one of the things is the parents will drop off the kids and leave them to be raised by the orphanage, even though the parents are still alive. Because that's how the parents can guarantee that the children will receive an education and food and housing without it becoming a strain on the parent. And it's a little sad to see families torn apart because of this. So her goal for this non-for-profit is essentially to keep families together and keep children in schools. So Nicole, after helping lead a group of teenagers 4 years ago, she couldn't stop herself from thinking and praying about her calling to be present in Haiti. And so 4 years later, she led 17 others that she individually asked to go on this trip, to walk with her and pray with her and affirm these decisions, and to help her design this non-for-profit to respond in healthy ways of how we can be in partnership with the people there in Haiti to make sure children, any child, can receive an education. So I'll tell you what, there are plenty of moments where I have these moments as a pastor, but this was one moment where I'm extremely proud and honored to be someone's pastor, to see them not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And it was an honor to be in a group of 18 people, amazing people from our congregation that care so deeply about others. So one question that I tend to ask myself on nightly devotions, I always like to say, what was your high of the day, what was your low of the day? But one question that I continually come back to and ask is, where did I seek God today? And that's a question that no matter where you are in the world, if you are looking for a way to pray every single night, that's one question you could ask any single day, is where did I seek God today? So I also like to take pictures, so this is where I saw God. So this first one, it's a little hard to see on these screens, but I posted it on Facebook. There's a collection of things here. After you get past the garbage and the dirt in this picture, you will see parents who are walking their children to school. You will see people that are working. The bus that's there in the middle, that's what they call a tap-tap. That's Naperville, we call that a tuk-tuk. And but essentially those are their buses, their cabs that get people to and from work. And then at the center, of course, you have the sun. I could not help but see God present with these people, very specifically when I took this picture. I saw God in the next picture. This is Rachel here. I saw God through Rachel. Rachel is studying to be a teacher, and here it's hard to see, but there are children on the ground below, and we're separated by a wall. And all we can do is communicate in broken Haitian Creole, but essentially Rachel, being the teacher, wanted to connect with these kids, so she starts playing invisible catch with them. And this happened, and it went on for a good 20 to 40 minutes of her just tossing an invisible ball back and forth with these children that are down there, just to make sure that they felt connected to us. I saw God in the dozens or so of teachers that would walk and educate their children every single day. These are teachers that are underpaid, but are definitely qualified and called to be leading children. They come with energy and love. And for many of us, we saw God in them. I saw God in many places during our trip, but one of the things that I love most about mission trips, anywhere that you go in the world, is normally they reveal to us not how we bring God to that place, but they reveal how God has already been present there. Your eyes are just opened to seeing that story. So Peter, James, and John probably had no problem answering that question, where do they seek God today, as they reflected on this morning's gospel lesson. I doubt that they expected to experience this awe-inspiring, awesome moment on top of the mountain where Jesus had invited them to pray. But this day, something different happened. Something special happened. This day, something more was revealed to them through that experience. This day, they got to see God fully present in the person of Jesus. Again, not that God wasn't present before in the person of Jesus. It was just revealed to them in a new way. Normally their eyes weren't open to seeing, and today something special happened. Peter, James, and John heard and saw firsthand how Jesus was really the chosen one of God. With his face transformed, his clothes turned bright white, they heard the voice of God say to them, "This is my son, listen to him." It actually makes me wonder, in that profound, miraculous moment, later on in the evening, did they maybe reflect on how easily they could have missed that moment there with God? I know that they didn't have cell phones back then, but had they been distracted by something like a stone tablet, and they were busy looking at that stone tablet, could they have missed that moment? Or had they taken a nap up on that mountain, following their hike up the mountain? Had they taken a nap, could they have missed that moment between Jesus, Elijah, and Moses? And I'm only picking on them saying a nap because a few chapters later, when Jesus now says, "Stay awake," when he's in the garden praying, what do? They fall asleep. They're human. They're like us. We get distracted. Do they realize how lucky they were to have been in that place and at that time? To be blessed to witness what God was doing there. That they saw God revealed and their lives were forever changed. Or for any of us, do we realize that we are just as blessed right here, right now, to see God alive and in action and at work here in our world? It's so busy as we go about the day-to-day rhythms of life to miss opportunities to see God everywhere. The hamster wheel of work and school and vacation and sports practices and travel teams and doctor's appointments, or however it is that we define our hours and our weeks. Our lives can get spinning so fast that sometimes it's impossible to pause even for a minute to see these moments where God is revealing awesome things to us, or recognizing how God's love is being revealed to us in new ways here and now. And these aren't just my words. As our group of 18 paused to reflect each day, as we pieced together the things that we were seeing and hearing, many from our team in Haiti shared that they feared going back home, that they would miss these awe-inspiring moments where they knew they were seeing God face to face. They knew that they were called to love. They knew in these moments with the Haitians that their lives would be forever changed, but the reality is it happens here. You don't have to go around the world to have that happen. It happens every single day with the people that we are honored to get to walk beside here. But I also think it's important from time to time to take a break from the routine, to be caught short, to be forced to see things in a different way, to pause and be open, be vulnerable. To sometimes go to Haiti and support a friend as they take a leap of faith and be open to seeing what God is already doing there. Or to go to Holy Family schools on the south side of Chicago and read to children on Dr. Seuss Day and see God in the eyes of brilliant and amazing children there. Or join a small group and pause during the season of Lent as we can hear the voice of God through members of our own church. To be a church that serves rather than to be served. To use our voices in our lives for justice and peace every single day for all. Rather than just going about the routines of life, today we are invited through this reading to simply pause and look for God here and now in this place. And you know what the good news is, you people of God? It's that God is already here. That God always has been here, and that God will continue to be here, blessing you and calling you and loving you just as you are, so that you can go and share that love with others. Today, our church celebrates what we call the transfiguration of Jesus. And if it teaches us anything, it's that God is here among us, that God reveals God's self to us daily in so many different places. If we pause, if we are open, we will see God. But please be aware, dear people of God, seeing God and hearing God's voice will change your life. And you'll never see our world the same way again. So whether it is through serving a local or global mission, whether it is connecting with our children's ministry or music or a small group, maybe it is by welcoming a new member into our community, or just having coffee with a friend, or supporting them as they start a non-for-profit. God is waiting to be seen and inviting us to be a part of this service. Today we're invited to pause, reflect, and ask the question, where did I see God today? And get ready, because God's at work in our world. Let's pray. Holy God, we give you thanks for the many ways that you reveal yourself to us and love and action through others. We ask that you bless those who are doing local and global mission work, for those who are walking alongside new members of our community. We ask that you invite us every single day to pause and ask the question, where do we see you today? You've blessed us with so much, and we are so honored to be a part of this journey. Bless us in our reflection and our connection with one another. And all God's people said, amen.